The Pup Fresh Podcast, Pup Fresh Podcast, Pup Fresh Podcast.
Welcome to the Pup Fresh Podcast. My name is Dan. I'm your host, and later on in the show, I have an interview with state champs. I talked to Derek and Ryan at the Future Hearts Tour, and we did a lengthy interview, which I put the start time to that in the description. Unless you're listening on iTunes, in which case just skip ahead till you hear like another person that's not me talking, because I get that you don't want to listen to the intro. Derek from the Big Time, different Derek, not Derek from State Champs. Derek from the Big Time was on the show last week, and he is the person responsible for the intro song that you just heard. I hit up Derek and I said, Derek, what would legitimize me? What would make me seem like I have my shit together? And he said, dude, you need an intro song for your podcast. And I said, you're damn right I do, Derek. Why don't you do that for me? So a couple hours later, he sent me over an intro track for my podcast. And now I can feel like a WWE superstar coming out to the ring because I have my own intro song. So thank you, Derek. Everybody check out Derek's band, The Big Time. They're pretty sick. Yeah, I went to the Future Hearts Tour to do this interview with state champs, and I don't know. It didn't really hit me. The venue was very odd for this particular tour. It was at a hockey arena, and like a small hockey arena, and it was like old, and the long story short, the sound was awful. And I only watched state champs perform because of that. After they played, I was like, man, like I watched them and they really controlled the crowd and were energetic, and I'm sure they sounded great somewhere, but from where I was sitting, I don't know. There's no possible way that anybody performing could sound good in those circumstances. So I'm not blaming the bands or anything. It was more so just the acoustics and the PA system. It was all terrible. Like it literally sounded like 17 assholes just existed. I don't know where I was going with that. It sounded like specifically 17 assholes just doing their thing. No, it sounded like somebody was like yelling down a laundry chute and mowing the lawn at the same time, or like somebody had a cup on a string and was yelling through it, but it was like actually Fran Drescher yelling through the cup on a string, and you just couldn't deal with it. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I don't know. I don't have any cool analogies for y'all. But yeah, okay. So this is the second introduction piece, I guess I'd call it, to the podcast. This is the third podcast that I'm doing, and I was really stoked. Like the first intro I did, it was just like, yo, I'm super stoked about this interview. Derek and Ryan were fucking awesome. We had a great time. I think everybody's gonna love it. Blah 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 blah. Well, Derek and Ryan were so cool. That didn't change. Those dudes were amazing to interview, and Derek was actually one of the first interviews we ever did on Pup Fresh, which is why, I don't know, I wanted to interview him again. And then Ryan is just one of the nicest dudes who, he's the type of individual who you've never heard a bad story about. And he's actually from the same area that I'm from, and I know a lot of people that know him, and I've never heard a bad thing said. And I'll add to that legacy that he has by contributing my experience with him, which was a very positive one, and I really see great things in that dude. But yeah, I thought that this interview was really fucking good. And even after it happened, I was so stoked. Like, I didn't stick around to watch All Time Low after. I mean, it was because the sound sucked, but it was doing part to the fact that I just wanted to get in the car and listen back to the interview that just happened. After it happened, I was like hugging Ryan and Derek and telling them, hey, like, this was fucking awesome. Like, I'm really excited. And it's because for a long time I hadn't been really proud of the interviews that Pup Fresh was doing. We were doing the 10 favorite things stuff and not really doing anything to fulfill me creatively or anything like that. So I decided that, I'm doing this new interview style, and they were like the first ones that I really I don't know, I went to the show and dealt with the, emailed a press contact and set a time and actually did an interview with. So this felt, and I thought that I did a great job with it. I really did. I sent the audio to a couple of my friends, and they were like, dude, that was fucking awesome. And everybody was telling me that I did a great job, including Ryan and Derek. Ryan even tweeted out that it was good. Well, I posted 2 teaser videos from the interview, and I came to find out that, well, I thought that I did a great job, and I thought that this was a good interview, that in fact I'm actually just an annoying person. And I found that out because everybody let me know, and I'm very big on people speaking their mind and things like that. So that doesn't bother me that people are actually speaking their mind. I guess I'm more so just embarrassed by the fact that I'm not is self-aware to realize that I am as annoying as I am, and that, I don't know, I guess I am abrasive. And so, while I was over here, a day ago thinking that this interview was great, I listen back at it now, and I can't help but feel like I dropped the ball, and that, while Pup Fresh is trying to go in this new direction, and while I thought that I could do something good for a change, I can't, and that's just not who I am. I'll let everybody who's about to listen know that, I've never had any training on how to interview before, and all I was trying to do was I'm trying to get answers out of the band that I normally wouldn't. And doing that, I'm kind of getting on them and trying to keep things moving along, trying to stray away from the generic answers. And I thought that I did that, but in doing that, I guess I came across as annoying. And, I'm sorry, I guess. I mean, again, I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I'm like a fucking idiot going out there just trying to get content for my website, and I don't know, I guess I can make these excuses, but when it comes down to it, maybe I'm just not that likable of a person, and that's okay. There are very few people who are universally liked by many, and if I'm not one of those people, that's okay. It's just more so the fact that, I don't know if I'm going to be motivated to keep doing these podcasts and interviews and things like that, just because it's I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for people to enjoy, have a good time, listen to the band, whatever. And if I'm not accomplishing that, then what the fuck is the point? So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm going to work harder and I don't know, changing myself for y'all. That sounds healthy, right? No, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm just really, I just feel like shit about this whole thing, I guess. And I've never been good at really, I don't know. I'm okay with people expressing themselves. I just wish they kind of did it in a way that wasn't so personal, I guess. Maybe say, hey, Dan, maybe you shouldn't interrupt the band so much, even if you are just trying to elicit a certain response. Maybe you should, let things go naturally. Or, hey, Dan, I know that you really haven't done many interviews, but, maybe you should, read up on them. Or instead of, you make me want to punch myself, you're fucking awful, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. I apologize if you're about to listen and and I ruin it for you. But, I don't know. So, what's that? 10 minutes of me, fucking 9 minutes of me. I don't know. Third podcast in, I'm already feeling fucking sorry for myself. No, I don't know. I really hope that somebody out there enjoys it. When I was at the show, actually, somebody came up to me, and I don't know. Nobody's come up to me in a long time at a show, mostly because I don't really go to shows anymore, also because I'm not really involved with Pup Fresh, so nobody has a reason to. She came up and she said, hey, I listened to the Austin Jones podcast, I really enjoyed it, and I hope you keep doing what you're doing. And that, at the time meant, so much to me. I was like, holy shit, and it still means a lot to me. I don't know why I said it at the time. No, it still means a lot to me. She's like, yo, I really enjoyed it. I hope you keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, wow, fucking thank you. That's you're the first person to come up to me and say that. This is a new thing I'm trying, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know why I can't focus on an experience like that where somebody tells me to my face, hey, I like what you're doing, keep doing it, and I focus on the fucking asshole who's telling me that I suck. And I don't know. I need to change my thinking maybe. I should just give better interviews. That's what it comes down to. I don't know why I'm being such a fucking idiot about it. Like, maybe I'll just get better at interviews. I'll become more likable, whatever. I don't know. I'm still rambling. This is fucking dumb. Here's the State Champs interview, whatever.
Pup Fresh Podcast!
All right, I am backstage here at the Future Hearts Tour with Ryan and Derek of State Champs. Why don't you guys say hello?
We're here. What's up, guys? How are you?
Pup Fresh, what's going on?
You know, I asked for hello, and you guys gave me that.
Hello. What's up? Pup Fresh Love here from State Champs. I'm Derek. This is Ryan. Hello.
All right, so I'm just going to get right to it, you guys. And I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it would be a good idea to ask my Twitter followers, at Pup Fresh, hey, you want to send a question over for State Champs? I'll ask it to them.
I'm sure you got some dark shit. Can we swear?
You can swear. Listen.
Right, I'm sure you got some dark ass shit.
I hope my mom's not listening because she's never heard me cuss.
So this is the majority of what I got. And it really bothered me, and I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about.
Right.
As everybody listening knows, and as you two, I hope you know, you have 6 shows in Australia coming up with 5 Seconds of Summer.
Yes.
You guys have these fans that took you guys so long, 4 years since I last spoke to you, Derek.
That's very true.
To get. You have all these fans, and you've developed this organic fan base, yet you announce that you're doing something that only a successful band would do, only a deserving band would do, which is going to Australia, first of all. First of all, not many bands make it to Australia. Second of all, you're doing it with one of the biggest pop rock bands in the world right now in 5 Seconds of Summer, yet some of your fans are questioning it. They're questioning it.
It's kind of half and half, really. It's kind of half and half.
But it shouldn't be half and half, is what I'm trying to say. Doesn't that piss you off a little bit?
We would hope that there would be, a little bit of an understanding as far as like when we announce something like that, and it's us saying, here, this is probably the biggest opportunity we've had as a band. We hope that you guys support us with it, even though there's different opinions about 5 Seconds of Summer as a band, but you can't deny the popularity, their hype right now. They're an actual band that is on the radio. Like, there's not too many bands that are actually doing something like they're doing right now.
Right.
I think it's like people don't really get 5 Seconds of Summer. They think they're a boy band, but those are the people who have never listened to them.
Right.
They're a rock band.
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
They play their instruments.
Yeah.
They're a band. They write their own songs. Actually, they work with a lot of cool people. Sure, they have a big label backing, and they come from a lot of money that's being thrown into them. But it's because that they deserve it,
Right.
They're at that point right now where they're one of the only bands that play instruments that are on the radio doing their thing as a rock band. Sure that they are a pop band, a pop rock band, but they are a band. They play their instruments. They're in it for all the same reasons that we're in here for the first place anyway.
Right.
So.
But listen, this isn't defend 5 Seconds of Summer. their legacy is there right now. They've earned everything they have, and that's undoubted.
Very true.
What this is more so of, it's how do you think that you need to put it into perspective for some of those fans, like where you've been and what you've done to actually deserve a chance to do this?
True. When it comes down to us having that kind of opportunity and us being we have been to Australia before, we've been to a lot of different countries now, but mainly
not to this level.
Yeah,
not to this level.
Not to this level at all.
Not even close.
And I mean, every time we go to a different place, it seems, whether it's our first or second or third time there, the growth and the more support that we're getting is insane right now. And it's so cool to us to be able to make all these new friends and fans and play to more people every time we go. So we're just excited. It's
right.
Just,
and you need to be. It's anybody would be excited if they're thrown in your position.
Yeah.
So you have these doubters and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You started out your band in New York. When I first talked to you, you were all still in college. Ryan, you weren't even a member of the band yet.
True.
You've come a long way.
Yeah.
You've come a long way, but it came kind of your success. You never really had that hit song, right? Mm-hmm. You never really had that one song to blow you up. You have one full-length album. You don't see that often, do you?
No, not really, because even with where we're at right now, being only having our full-length album out, it's usually like the introductory thing. You know, you let people know who you are, and then by this time that your second album comes out, maybe that there's some kind of hype and reach, and that's where your push really starts to go. And it's very cool that we're starting to see that before our second album even comes out yet, which is another story that we'll talk about when it comes to our next album. But
well, hey,
as far as right now,
well, now that you said something,
we can talk about that.
Well, I'm imagining the next album. It has to be much more pop influenced, right? It has to be. It has
I would say so, but at the same time,
you still have your roots.
It's edgy pop, I think.
At the same time, we went into it saying, we're state champs. We know our sound. We know what we sound like. We know what we're going to try to portray, and we're not going to do anything differently. But given the circumstances and what we like to listen to and what we want to, you know, produce as a band, we're still going to have fun with it. It's still all going to be music that we like and we want to perform because there are songs.
And that's what matters.
Yes, exactly.
That's what matters.
But given, also, we just wanted to take a full step forward from our last album when it comes to production value and adding so much more to the songs. So basically, when I like in one sentence, what I like to say for this new album is that it is State Champs, very much State Champs sound, plus so much more. And so you won't really understand that until you hear it.
So are you a pop fan yourself? Is that?
Oh, I'm very much the pop music guy. Me and Ryan are the pop guys of the.
It's
pop and emo.
It's interesting because I wasn't a huge pop fan until I joined the band.
Because of me.
And then you know, doing the long drives and like, you know, everybody's different music taste, I realized I didn't hate it as much as I thought I did. And I didn't hate it at all. Actually.
Exactly. I happen to be that guy that's always like, guys, listen to this. This is the biggest song on the radio right now. Like, just listen. Like, you have to like connect with it a little bit and find out what's grabbing everyone like to this song that is like the #1 song. This is the top of the charts right now. You have to be so pop culture like in this scene right now to like find out what everyone's into, what everyone's vibing with, and how everyone's getting into this, and where the sound of music is really going right now, and where things are changing and how things are adapting. Right. And I mean, not that we try to take that and like bring that kind of style directly into our music, but you have to know. You just have to have a mindset like what everything's like. And I love listening to the radio. I love like just driving around listening to the radio, hearing what everybody's listening to these days. And I get with it too, but hey, it's just cool to have that idea.
What musician grows up and says, "I never want to be on the radio. I never want to hear my song on there. I don't want to. I don't want to have success.
You'd be surprised.
I want to. I want to play 200 cap rooms for the rest of my life.
You'd be surprised.
You know what I mean?
It's funny because, I mean, I come from very, very DIY roots. You know, touring to nobody for 6 years. You know, in some local bands. I have some friends out tonight who saw for the first time a little bit of a different side of my life. You know, they would come see me play for 50 people at a Legion Hall.
Right.
And now we just played for 4,400 people, sold out Copyright Arena, and they are shocked because they were like, we never saw this coming. Like, you were DIY guy. You were like, I'm gonna play exactly.
You were that punk rock kid.
I had the roots that I'm like, it was me. If I didn't ever make it to the radio, that's fine because I'm enjoying what I'm doing and I'm fulfilled. But I can still do that in a band that has the potential to make it to the radio, and
still has the same mindset.
Exactly. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, and what I get from that is like you were that DIY guy, and now look at what it got you.
Yeah.
You got 4,400 people tonight.
Yeah.
You got a tour with 5 Seconds of Summer. You know, all of those things that are coming to you, you deserve and you earned.
But the thing
is,
it's
with that mindset too.
Another thing is we are still the same people. We're still those DIY kids because we come from the same.
Not yet, at least. Hey, give it a year. You guys will be fucking the biggest rock stars that you'll be.
Even in a year, it's like the thing is where we come from is being in a little van packed together just so we could go to each city and be traveling and be together, hanging out as friends, and whoever we play to, we're still going to be stoked because we're in a new city and we're doing what we like to do.
Right.
So if you want to throw us in a little van, pack us in together, and sleep on people's floor, we'll do that. Like we like to do that. That's why we started this in the first place.
Right.
But the fact that it's grown and there's a lot more added to it now. There's all these opportunities thrown at us. We're just nothing but grateful and just stoked for every minute of it. That's why with this tour, being that we're on right now, it's just like we're just trying to take in every minute, have as much fun as we can.
Exactly. Just like, I think it's funny. Sorry to interrupt. I think it's funny that it's like, why are you touring with 5 Seconds of Summer? Oh, you're touring with All Time Low? That's sweet. Because it's like
the same.
Right. People don't get it because that's exactly what I said earlier. People don't know what 5 Seconds of Summer is all about.
Right.
Alex helped them write some songs.
Right.
From All Time Low.
Exactly. All Time Low and 5 Seconds of Summer are not that far apart.
Right.
I was creeping the Twitter.
Are you known to do that at times, Ryan?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Are you addicted to your phone? Be honest with me.
Addicted to my phone? No. Used to be, yes. Not anymore.
Well, now you're doing too much cool shit. Now you're too busy getting interviewed by PupFresh.com.
Oh!
You don't have time. See the plug there?
I don't have time. Thanks, Pup Fresh. Anyway, creeping the Twitter. People are like comparing it, like they were like, these genres don't mix. It makes no sense. State Champs, 5 Seconds of Summer. But these are the same people who were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got this opportunity to do All Time Low. So cool. People are like, Fall Out Boy and Wiz Khalifa makes no sense. Like, but this makes less sense.
But they're doing, like, and here they go on there, like big ass sold out.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make less sense. It makes more sense.
And the fact is, when it comes down to it, music brings people together.
Yeah.
Music genres bring, it doesn't need to be the same. As long as everybody's going out there enjoying themselves, you're able to connect to people through your music. And that would, isn't that honestly what it's about?
Whatever age
Not to be
that
corny.
they might be,
Right.
whatever, boy or girl, like
Right.
whatever, whoever you are, it doesn't really matter to us as long as we're all hanging out in there for the right reasons.
Right.
It's really not a thing to us. It's not like we have to have these older punk rock or hardcore kids as our fans forever. We want everyone.
Right.
We want moms and dads. We want everybody.
That's a great mindset to have.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this tour, undoubtedly, is the fact that nobody here has anything to prove. They came here to have fun. They came here to jump around, do their thing for a night, miss a school day to wait in the line, like just have fun. The DIY shows, there's always people there who are just stand there with their arms crossed, something to prove, like trying to be cool. Like, I don't care about that at all. I've been through that. I'm past that.
Definitely seen a lot of that.
Come to the show and have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Right.
And that's what these people at the All Time Low show are doing. That's what the people at the 5 Seconds tour is going to do. And I think that's what I'm most excited about.
We're 100% behind it for sure.
Right.
100%.
Because not everybody
want to have fun.
Yeah, not everybody here knows who we are. A lot of them have never even heard of us before. Given we're fortunate enough to have a lot of people singing along to our songs in these crowds, which is great. But even if they don't know who we are, if they've never heard of us or heard of our music, if I go, everybody jump on 3, 1, 2, 3, jump. The whole place, everybody's doing it. Whether they care or not, they're all there for the right reasons. They're there because we're at a concert. We're ready to have a good time. Like whatever these guys are going to tell us to do, like let's do it. Let's have a fun time.
So my question, I'm sorry to go back to it because we're not beating the dead horse enough. How do you get to meet a band like 5 Seconds of Summer? How does that process come about to where they say?
It was pretty funny.
Twitter.
Really?
Twitter.
Okay, I'll tell.
So you being addicted to Twitter is not a bad thing, right?
It's not that bad.
It's not all that
I
bad.
guess
It's so accessible.
I'll try to sum up this whole thing. There was a little bit of like Twitter interaction between us and them the past like couple months.
It's flirting.
And then
Honestly, it was
when we were in LA this past month recording our new album, they happened to be in LA at the same time recording their new album. So they happened to, a couple of the guys in 5sus happened to reach out to me on Twitter, like in my direct messages. They slid into my
in your DMs.
They
Look
did.
at that,
They
brother.
slid in. A couple of them did. They gave me their phone numbers. They said, hit us up. Like, we're big fans of your band. Like, let's. So I'm like, okay. Like, wow. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Hit them up.
That's unbelievable.
And sure enough, they invite us over. They're like, hey, we're having a party tonight. Come over to our house. Like, whatever. We're gonna have some friends over.
And so what's that party like? I want to walk into this party.
I
because,
won't get too into depth.
Well, I don't want to get too into detail, but I mean, are there other famous people there? There's other famous people there,
me just
and
say
then you guys show up, and I'm sure you're bringing the emo, you're bringing the dad jokes, all the things that you guys are known to do, right? And so, how do you fit into a situation like that? I'm sorry, I'm just curious because I've never had an experience like that.
Neither did we, though. Honestly, when we first got there, we were like, wow.
So who's there?
We
You go to the party. Who's there?
We were like, let's put on button-up shirts. Let's look nice because we thought that there were gonna be people there that were like looking at us. You know what I'm saying? But when we got there, honestly, it felt like chill.
Literally, it was all
so
dudes like
chill.
us. Everybody hanging out.
Right.
Like they're all wearing band tees.
Right.
Just
well,
like.
okay, I don't care about that. Who are you bumping shoulders with? Who's there?
We got there. One of those nights we got there, and they were.
One of them. There's more of these.
We went to a couple.
You went to a couple parties at
They
5
went
Seconds of
about
Summer.
4 or 5 times throughout
4
the
or
whole
5.
time,
Okay.
yeah.
Who's there? Who are you guys bumping shoulders with?
I mean, we met a lot of people that are actually just in our scene, like that are hanging out, like that.
That's
we
still
met
cool.
before.
I'm still interested.
But I will say the coolest thing was we got there and they were like, oh, you guys should have came like 15 minutes earlier. All the Red Hot Chili Peppers just left.
Unbelievable.
So we're like, what? They're like, yeah, they left boxes and boxes of their merch. If you guys want anything, they're right over here. Like, grab a hoodie or something. Yeah. They're like, yeah, they brought all their daughters because their daughters are huge fans and they hung out with us all day.
God.
We're like, what? Okay. So then we walk through the house, like say hello, introduce ourselves to all of their like,
Their posse.
their friends, their posse, their like Australian friends, and everybody clicked. So like they're so nice people. Everyone Australian seems to be just nicer than everyone as well.
Well, I'm pretty nice. I'm from America.
I mean, you're okay.
I mean, I'm all right.
You're a sass ball.
We go out to the back, like there's like a fire going. They have a pool out there. It overlooks all of LA. Like they have this.
I mean, they have a fucking huge.
So
house
we went out there and ended up butting heads and hanging out with a lot of like Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens was hanging out there.
That's cool.
Brian Logan Dales from the Somerset was hanging out there.
I like the full name there. He reps Pup Fresh as well.
Yeah.
Full name.
My boy T Mills was there.
T Mills.
Yeah, he was
unbelievable.
Cool. Rapper
He's cool.
guy.
I know who T Mills is. Don't think I can't throw
Everybody
him out.
knows him.
You know what bummed me out?
What?
Is that I heard Andy Milonakis was there like 5 minutes before we got there. And it really bummed me out because I'm a huge Andy Milonakis.
Well, listen, it's his show. Andy
why-
Schmil Schmackis, right? I mean, come on.
Why would Andy Milonakis be hanging with 5 Seconds Summer?
Why wouldn't he be?
That's true.
Why wouldn't he be? Who else is there? Who else is there? Come on, name drop. I want to hear a name drop.
Got some dubstep.
some pop star people.
What, is
like,
Skrillex there? Is that
not necessarily.
Who's there? Is
Skrillex.
Deadmau 5 there? I'm just
I
kidding.
wish.
Is Deadmau there?
I wish. I met this girl, Bonnie McKee, there. She's like a girl pop star that's like doing it really big right now. That was cool.
And you guys are just there, pop punk kids.
And we're just there
from
like,
New York.
We're just gonna like keep our distance. But no, the 5 Sus guys keep coming up, just like, let's go hang out,
Unbelievable.
come on out
Introducing
back.
us to
Introducing
people.
us to everyone, saying, and like they have music blaring outside on their patio back, and they like we show up, we come up back, and they're like, put State Champs on. They put our music on, and they're all singing it.
So you're
and
bumping
we're
shoulders
like,
with Kanye, and he's listening to you guys, essentially.
If Kanye was there, I would have fainted.
Who's the most famous person that was there? Be honest.
Probably 5 Sus.
5 songs. Oh, aside from them, who are they hanging out with? Who's in their crew?
I mean, they hang out with the Good Charlotte guys a lot. They're
And
pretty
that's
famous.
and that's got to be huge for you, right?
It's very.
So a band from New York, you guys, a lot of those bands and a lot of your friends, I'm sure, haven't even made it off the East Coast. And here you are in a mansion partying with 5 Seconds of Summer. They're asking you to come out on tour to Australia.
We try to think about it as that big of a thing. It's more
But
like
that's
we made new
huge.
friends, and they happen to be very successful.
you had to- but-
and they want to bring us out on their tour.
To you,
Sure,
that's
let's
not
do
big,
it.
but to everybody else, that's huge. You know how many bands would
Oh,
kill
to me,
for that?
To me, it's big.
We're definitely like, no,
You're not.
to me it's big. It's a big deal.
Like, that's
but when
huge.
thinking about it in the grand spectrum, it's like we made some new friends, and they asked us to
Are
do
you
this
nervous when
tour.
you show up there?
Oh, I'm 100%
Like sweating?
gonna throw up before
Like
we
you
play
have a
any
button-up
of
shirt and you got
these.
you bring a spare button-up shirt because you're going to sweat through the other one?
Oh yeah, I did that tonight though. So it's just gonna be that time.
So you're just used to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's crazy. So then, how do you meet Seth Rollins? Is he just a fan? First of all, I am a huge wrestling fan. That is like, Pup Fresh was originally a wrestling website.
Really?
I'll have you. It was,
I didn't know
It was
that.
called Titantron Online, and then we hit 1,000 followers in a month,
Yeah.
and we're like, LOL, wrestling's stupid. You guys are stupid. Bye. And then we turned it into a music site. Because we just wanted to see if we could get a wrestling blog big. We were featured by Tumblr's like main page for getting it big, and then we're like, okay, let's go back to music. But I am a huge wrestling fan.
That's cool. So are we.
So
we
how
dig
do
it.
you meet Seth Rollins?
I will go back and say Twitter once again.
Again?
He's
Yes.
a big pop punk guy.
He's a huge pop punk guy.
He's a
He loves
pure
Well,
music.
I'm aware of
I've never
that.
seen-
It's crazy though that did he come out to a show?
He did.
What's that like? What's that like having
We played it.
Is he huger than everybody else?
Let me go ahead and say he is from a very, very small town in
Iowa, right?
And-
Don't think I don't know
and-
Seth Rollins. Are you
You
kidding me?
know, okay,
You mean
so
Colby.
I'm trying to let everybody else know that doesn't know.
Do you know him as Colby? Do you call it? Do you
Oh,
call
sorry.
it?
We can't
You can't
reveal
break
his real
kayfabe.
name.
No breaking kayfabe with you guys.
Just censor
We
that out
came
later.
we came through his hometown, played a small show at a
Right,
bar, and
right.
he was like, "So stoked you guys are coming out! Like I want to come to the show, hang out. I'm gonna
Right.
bring my friends, stuff like that." And he did. He just came out. He was a super normal guy, hung out with us all night, like talked to us, hooked him up with some merch and stuff.
And he's a world champ.
he's the world champion.
That was cool
Look
for
at
us to
because he
see.
wasn't when we first met.
And you're like, it's like kind of like how I'm interviewing you guys now. You're not quite the world champ, but you're getting that push soon. you guys are riding hard in the mid card right now. You're about to be in the main event fucking picture.
You're jinxing us, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm not. There's no such thing. First of all, luck is for losers. Jinxing doesn't exist. You guys are fucking doing your thing and you're killing it.
But Seth is the man. He's very cool. We're very fortunate to have him supporting us, like on his as much of a reach that he has, being the world wrestling.
I saw that Summer Rae was hanging out with Jack from All Time Low.
That was yesterday, or
Did you meet her?
the day before. We didn't meet her.
I did.
You
She
did?
legit busted down the door of our green room yesterday. Said, "Who's talking shit on Twitter?" It was Tony, because he's the biggest wrestling fan in our.
Yeah,
I need to
Tony,
hang
our
out with
guitar
Tony.
player, is a huge wrestling fan.
I need to hang out with Tony.
You do.
That's what I need to do.
And any time that any like wrestling, star or is around, he's always like, I want to meet him, I want to hang out.
But he's too nervous.
But he's also a very nervous guy.
That'd be me.
So he doesn't actually want to go meet, so we have to like push him, like, go hang out.
Paige came out to Self-Help Fest.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was...
And she dated my friend Bradley for a while.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He was too nervous to go say hi.
I would be.
And so I can't remember who it was, but they went over to her and they were like, "This guy over here loves you. Like, please go say hi." So she came over, obviously hammed it up with him, and he's just being shy.
And they hit it off, though.
Yeah.
They did. And
Right.
we ended up giving her a shirt and stuff. She loved it.
That's
She
so cool.
Posted a picture of it. It was great.
You know, I interviewed Chris Jericho once.
He's the man.
That's all I've done. I freaked out. It was the craziest thing ever.
It's very cool, though.
So, you're talking about your guys' success, going back to it, you know, getting off the topic we were just on. When did you know that this had started to be like a full force thing? I was talking to you before this interview about that. You're saying, yeah, man, we're full force now. Like,
Yeah.
I noticed it last year on Warped Tour. I saw more state champ shirts than anything. You guys are playing the Kevin Says stage.
Yeah, we're on the smallest stage. of
You're on the
Warped Tour
smallest
last
stage, yet you have all of these kids
year. Yeah.
wearing the shirts. I see people in my college wearing the shirts. Everybody has a state champs thing. Half the time, first of all, half the time I don't know if somebody's high school is just really fucking good at a sport. But no,
get that
like
all
I
the
see the Space Jam shirt.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, to what do you go a little bit of your success to Michael Jordan and the Toon Squad, don't you?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and agree with you that right around Warped Tour last year was where it was like, you know, when we came in, we were like so fortunate to be on Warped Tour, a festival that we grew up going to and like wanting to play since we were little, and here we have this chance and we're on the smallest stage of the festival, but then the reaction we got was just crazy, like being bumped up to bigger stages and then having to play to bigger crowds, and seeing all the like how merch was selling and everything, how it was going was just wild to us. So I think it was right around there where it was like midway through Warped Tour, we were like, okay, this is happening.
This is real.
This is real now. Like,
and now we are actually being joined by All Time Low Set. They're playing behind us.
They are about to start.
For those of you who notice a slight decrease in the audio quality, you could blame it on those guys.
Yeah, thanks, All Time Low.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
thanks a lot.
Thanks for bringing us out,
But
we're
you
getting
know,
interviewed
you're kind
here.
of talking to Pup Fresh, the most important music website in the world. No, I'm just blessing. But seriously, you guys now, you started this web series, right? What's that about? Why don't we talk about that? Because I feel like if I'm going to interview you, I might as well plug something of yours.
Yeah, no,
Please
of course.
do.
We just started this little like web sitcom series that Ryan is the mastermind behind, and he can tell you a little bit more about it. Yeah.
Actually, before that, I want to talk about Ryan joining the band. Because if I'm being honest with you, I think that the success of the band started around the time that Ryan joined.
It did kind of start that way.
Not because of me.
I'm
but
not saying
yes.
I'm not saying it's because of you. I think there's this thing. It's a phenomenon that I just created in my head. It's called
Ryan joined the band.
It's called the Ryan effect.
It's
He
just
comes
the
in here.
Ryan effect.
My MySpace name was the Ryan Graham Effect.
Really? Were you a fan of Reggie and the Full Effect?
No.
Oh, okay, because I love
I
that.
was just a loser. But no, that's funny that you said that.
It's funny because I had no idea.
I was gonna say the question before.
But let me just go ahead. Mine was Derek at the disco.
Wow.
I at one point.
Thanks.
What was I? What was my MySpace name? I was first and last name. That's my girlfriend that I was talking to back there. She's a huge state champs fan. That's another indicator that you guys are blowing up. Is when my girlfriend says, "Hey, you need to cover this band." You know, Bay's never wrong. You feel me?
I mean, thanks, Bay.
Yeah. Well, that's hey. You watch your tone, buddy. You got WWE divas to hang out with. You know.
So what I was going to say.
Web series. Let's talk about
When I joined the band.
it. Right.
I had heard of State Champs, seen them 3 or 4 times, and I was like, this is a big popular band.
Right.
And the first tour that I did with them, it wasn't the case.
Right.
Like, it was a We Are the In Crowd tour. We were 2 of 5, and there was maybe like 30, 40, 50
Which
kids.
that tour really surprised me because I thought We Are the In Crowd would have more of a draw, but after that album, it just didn't. That tour, for some reason, that lineup was sick.
It was a fun tour.
It was a great lineup. I was very surprised that I didn't actually go to it. Maybe that's I'm part of the problem.
But I think a lot of this we owe a lot of the success of the band to that, or the growth.
That was
of the band
that was
because
a great tour, unbelievable.
they'd never done a pop tour before.
Right, and maybe that's what it was. But
Exactly.
if that tour to happen again, I guarantee you it would have more than 40 kids a night.
That was kind
Well,
of
no, there was
Some
more
shows,
than
some
40 kids.
shows,
I was saying
right.
those were the kids that were coming out to see us.
Right.
But now we see like we'll play for those exact same kids that came to see us, plus 200.
And now they're saying,
300.
"Fuck you! Don't tour with 5 Seconds of Summer." Blah. I'm just kidding. They're not saying that.
I think it's just some of our fans hold a little bit of like they hold,
Entitled.
They are entitled.
Does that bother you? I'm sorry.
It
does
doesn't.
that bother
Yeah,
you?
it doesn't.
A little bit. It bothers you.
You know, not
Speak about it. I want to know why it bothers you. I'm interested in this.
It's a yes and no thing, because I understand the support when all of like our dedicated friends and fans that have seen us for the past couple of years and always come out to our shows whenever we go. And then when we announce something like that, sure, some of them are like, I'm so proud of you guys, good luck on the tour. But then a lot of them,
there they are, right there. They're cheering for you in the background. Unbelievable. Look at that timing.
Some of them just say, well, it was nice knowing you,
right.
have a good life. Like,
I think that's what it is. It's not that people think that we're sellouts per se. It's that they're worried about the fan base. They're worried about there being no accessibility to band members. They're worried about the fan base changing to people that they don't want to associate with. And I think that's stupid.
But that is great.
You have to start somewhere.
And that's great awareness of you to pick up on that, by the way.
But that's what I've seen lurking Twitter.
That's a great way to really put it into perspective right there. That's great insight right there. And you're absolutely right. I mean, keep talking. I don't want to cut you off. You seem like this wisdom bearded young man with the hair and the glass and the whole thing, and you're just spewing out wisdom. I want you to keep talking, Ryan.
It's just like it is an interesting phenomenon as far as when your favorite band starts to see some success, because there is a little kickback where you're like, I don't want this to change. I like how it is now.
I was 100% guilty of being one of those fans, like when I was a kid too.
So you get it.
About I would say 6 or 7 years ago.
But exactly, you were that kid, but who would discover a band, and then that would become your band, and other people would be annoyed that you were the new guy. And that's what I don't want to see, because everybody has to be the new guy at some point.
Right.
Like, these kids that are going to see us on 5 Seconds of Summer tour may have never heard of us, but they have to start somewhere. They start on the 5 Seconds of Summer tour, and they become fans, hopefully lifelong fans.
Right.
I don't want our fan base to say, forget these kids because they found out about them from 5 Seconds of Summer. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Who cares?
And then look at it also like this, is the trickle-down effect. You guys get big off of 5 Seconds of Summer. Oh, by the way, you're about to, maybe in the future headline, bring out some of your friends, give them a chance.
Yeah, our best friends, neck deep, our best friends, real friends, like...
Your best friends, Pup Fresh. No.
Pup Fresh.
I'm just kidding.
we want all these people who are close to us to experience success as well. Why wouldn't we?
And that's going to happen if and I feel, do you almost feel like the scene in a way has kind of suffered from that in recent years, to where newer bands aren't really developed, going back to the wrestling analogy, they're jobbers, they start out, they're the small bands, there's no mid-card, there's no mid-level bands, the bigger bands aren't really getting anybody big. I feel like this is like, that's starting up again with you guys. It's starting up with bands like Paris, like bands like Against the Current.
Exactly.
It's happening again, but do you feel like there was a drought for a little bit of time where that wasn't happening?
For sure, I would say so. But right now is a great time.
I agree. It's great. You can see it
in a revival sense.
Right. And there's this thing about the emo revival, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I just think that this is very good for the scene, whatever you want to call it. You guys, I think that you're kind of on the forefront of that. You're about to start this movement, and this is what I'm envisioning. This is me thinking 5 years out, and I don't want to jinx you or whatever you're worried about. I see you guys going on tour with 5 Seconds of Summer. I see you getting fucking huge. I see you getting all of these fans just because you're touring with 5 Sauce. And then I see you releasing the album. I see it doing unbelievably well. The last album did what, 2 on Heat Seekers? I'm talking you guys are going to be top 40, top on the charts. You're going to come out.
We're hoping for it. We'll see what happens.
This is my vision. Don't interrupt my vision.
Oh, okay.
Listen.
Keep it going.
You're going to come out with a hit song. You're going to get some mainstream exposure, undoubtedly. You're going to do a headlining tour, and it's going to be this thing where you're saying State Champs has arrived. This is us. These are our these are our friends that we're bringing out on the road with us.
Yeah.
You are all of our fans.
Yeah.
Buy into what we're doing. We are taking over the fucking world. And this is I can see it.
That's the plan.
It's honestly. Is it? Am I wrong?
It is. That's kind of how it
Who
goes.
wouldn't want to take over the world? We want to take over the world.
And then you have your friends like Neck Deep Out. You have your friends like whoever the hell else you were naming that I should have paid closer attention to.
That's okay.
And then they say the same fucking thing. And then the scene keeps developing and these bands keep growing. And it's a good thing because more kids come to shows, they buy more merch, and everybody's more engaged. You guys, I think that you have the power to do it. I think you guys have the talent to do it. I think you guys have the fucking songs to do this. And I'm so happy that I get to see it develop in front of my eyes, and I hope that all of your fans aren't taking this for granted.
Hell yeah, man.
And I'm not kissing your ass. I have no reason to kiss your ass.
You can though.
Well, if I want to listen, I
just played a show. It's sweaty.
Yeah.
Be careful.
But again, I mean, this is what I see, and I'm being completely honest with you. I'm not a visionary in any sense, but I think that you'd have to be blind to not see where you guys are heading.
I think a lot of people are taking notice, and it's cool to us.
Right. And so with that said, does it ever worry you to be like, I mean, you're on this record label, Pure Noise. Do you, like, while you're in this growth thing, do you get kind of like freaked out to be associated with the controversy that came around, like that front porch step thing? Does that worry you to be like just
bit.
in that realm? Does that it does?
A little bit.
Because you're so
sure.
Because people see that, they go to the label page, and then there you guys are.
Yeah, of course.
That worries you.
Sometimes there's a lot of things, especially like, you know, we've had a long talk about this recently, actually. Where it comes
Talk to me,
like,
because I am very big activist into, you know, just spreading awareness of anything, and I think that you guys have good heads on your shoulder, and I want to hear what you have to say.
I mean, I guess we don't have too much to say about it.
There's a lot that we can't say.
Yeah, we don't have too much to say about
Legally
it.
or
Legally,
what? Why can't you say it?
We play our own game, basically.
Not
you know.
It's not legally. It's a lot of behind the scenes things that are happening.
Right.
That the public.
And it's good to keep your mouth shut. And I probably shouldn't have brought it up to you guys.
Yeah,
Because
it's
putting you in a bad situation,
No,
but still.
you're supposed to. So
Right,
it's okay.
right.
It can be-
And nobody else is doing it, right? I have the balls to do it.
It can be scary to
Right.
be associated with that just because of a label.
Right.
Given like we're keeping our ground, obviously.
Right.
Like it's not like we ever did anything wrong. It's just that, you know, if something like that comes about, like these allegations from other bands that happen to be on our label
Right,
or
right.
happen to be someone that went on tour with us at some point or will go on tour with us in the future, if there's those kind of allegations and there's those things like that's what's hot like on the internet right now and people are coming all about them, they're going to find any reason to lash out on
Right.
us.
We
You
get
know?
lumped in there.
Any sort of reason where we're connected with any sort of stuff like that,
Right.
they're going to come at us hard. So
Right.
it's in our best interest to just play our own game,
Okay.
do our own thing, and just and not try to worry about that.
So
kind
here's
of
a
stuff.
question then. And I know that you have a good relationship with your label, and I'm not trying to discredit that at all. Are you looking to go major or something like that? Are you looking, bigger picture wise?
Oh, who knows? We'll see.
That's a very safe answer.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, we're very.
And I don't want to
open
put you on the.
everything.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that. I'm curious.
No, it's okay. We love Pure Noise. We love where we're at right now,
Good,
and
good.
our relationship is great, and we have no bad things to say about it. And who knows where the future will go?
Right.
But, we're very much like seeing where time takes us.
Are you afraid to maybe go to like a major because of what happened with like All Time Low when they went to one?
Oh, we've heard all the horror stories
Right,
for
right,
sure.
right. So
From
you're-
a lot more bands than All Time Low too.
Right, okay.
They've done it. We have so many bands that have given us all of the stories, and we're fortunate enough to tour with all these bands that have been through the horror and through all of like the worst things that can happen when it comes to signing to a major label or like even just switching any label in general. So we're very skeptical when it comes to things like that, but we're still very open.
You guys are going to Australia with 5 Seconds Summer. It doesn't fucking matter. You guys are about to blow up. Come on, let's be honest.
We've talked about it a little bit. After this record is out, our contract is up. So
You're gonna be like CM Punk at Money in the Bank. You know that reference, wrestling fans? CM Punk Money in the Bank. Contract's up. What's the next move?
Buy in.
I'm buying in, dude.
There you go. Total heel move right there.
But the thing is, it's a discussion, and it's
You have to think about your future.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
But we do,
But you take into consideration your relationship,
relationships,
and you should.
Yeah.
Right. Listen.
We love where we're at, and nothing's changing yet.
It's changed. You guys are blowing the fuck up. That's what's changing. That's the only thing that's changing. Your bank accounts. That's what's changing.
We know.
Hopefully.
We know who our true friends and family are, and
Right.
we're happy
Right.
with that for now. But like I said, who knows what's gonna happen?
We'll assess the situation when it comes, I think.
Well, hey, we've had a good conversation. I didn't give you a chance to plug your new web series.
Shot Boys.
Talk about it.
We just released the first episode last Wednesday on Alternative Press, and it's kind of a sketch comedy, Seinfeld-esque type thing.
Are you a Seinfeld fan?
Huge Seinfeld fan.
My favorite show
George
ever.
Costanza sticker on my bass. Come on, man.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I was too far away.
Oh, wow. Fake fan here. No, I'm just kidding. Either way, just short little web series. We wanted to do something different. We didn't want to do a tour documentary or anything like that, so I pitched, why don't we do a sitcom?
Right.
So I started writing we've been writing on the road. We have a photographer, videographer with us, Elliot Ingham from England, and great visionary. Really
kills it with the editing and with filming all this.
I watched it. I loved it. Hey, can I
It's
be honest?
goofy. It's stupid. It's goofy.
I don't want to take your thunder away.
Yeah.
But I totally had that idea. I wanted Pup Fresh at one point.
We did it first,
I know.
bitch.
Listen, I wanted Pup Fresh at one point. I wanted to do, instead of interviews with bands, I wanted to do sketches with bands.
Great.
Jared Alonji's doing that now.
Yes.
I thought of this so long time ago. I just never had the creativity to do it.
It definitely passes the time really well on tour.
And it's so much, but it is so much work. And I've been so frustrated with my band when I'm like, let's film right now, and everybody's doing something, and I'm like, all right,
He does get very honest.
I was like, this episode's not gonna happen. I'm
Right.
pissed off right now.
Right.
But no, episode 2 is coming out hopefully this Wednesday.
I'm
Upcoming
excited.
Wednesday.
I'm excited for that.
And it's gonna kill
It's
the
good.
first episode.
It's good.
I've
I've got some good scenes in it.
Were you a fan of like the TAI TVs back in the day that the Academies did, or like any of that? It reminded me of that. That's the only reason I asked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they do the same kind of thing?
Well, they did sketches. They had like it was very 2005.
Okay.
You know what? But so
Great.
what? 10 years have passed. You know. Listen how old I sound.
The thing is that I know other bands have done it, but I
But
wanted to do
you have a
something that
li-
was like doesn't have anything to do with our band. I
Right.
wanted to push us as people, as like
Ryan,
to
you
be personable.
you have a laugh track. I don't think any band has ever done
Oh,
that.
the laugh tracks are great, and they're way too
Oh, it's
long and
great.
drowned.
It's hilarious. I love
key.
it.
The laugh track is key.
I love
so long and dragged out that like it's funny that how stupid it is, but like we put a lot of work into it. And we're actually really
Right.
stoked. on
You
it.
should be proud. I think that's going to help you guys blow up too. You know
gives
that it is.
it gives everyone just another insight of how we are as people.
Exactly.
Right.
That was my vision. Is
And you guys are cool people.
separated from state champs. This is us
This
as
is just
idiots
us. Yeah.
on
Listen,
tour.
I see you guys as cool people.
Well, cool as well.
Well, because you're
Cool as
giving
shit,
me time
we're
to do an
also
interview
idiots.
with you guys, and you guys have said very nice things about me. Listen, if you didn't say anything nice about me, I probably wouldn't even call you cool. That's a joke. No, listen. I feel like we've talked for a long time. We covered a lot of topics. Is there anything that you guys want to add in the mix? Maybe talk about how much you love Pup Fresh. Maybe
I mean, we
anything.
love Pup Fresh, obviously. Pup Fresh was the first interview I ever did, like our first real
Was it
one,
really?
like 4 years ago.
Look at
yeah.
that cred right there.
And it was like all video. It was like the
street cred.
phone interview, and I had like picture of me on the YouTube video.
You
I felt
remember
so
it?
cool. Yeah, I felt
Brother,
really cool.
I
It was
spent
awesome.
time on that.
Yeah, that
and
was
you remember
great.
it.
You killed it, man. And
Yeah.
I was just nobody.
No, I did.
at
I did
that
it. No, if I'm being honest with you, I did such a bad job that I said to myself after that, I'm never doing another phone interview again. I thought that I
We
did.
turned you away.
No, listen. I thought that I didn't have anything interesting to ask. I thought that I sounded like a jackass, which I don't think I'm doing a much better job now.
Hasn't changed.
Right. Nothing's changed. Thank you, Ryan. But still, I mean, so it's crazy because I'm trying this new thing out, this new podcast. You gave me an opportunity to have you on as guests. You're way bigger than I'll ever be, and I really do appreciate your time. And you guys are very genuinely nice people.
Of course, man. It's all fun and family. It's all-
And Derek was telling me before this interview, he's like, "Yo, man, it's like the second interview I've done on this tour, second or third. Very exclusive with who I interview with. Is that true? How
Make
about?"
me sound like Nelly. Over
No,
here.
you're not sounding like Nelly. It's what you said. There's nothing wrong with it.
Press, bro.
No,
But
it's,
no, literally.
you're very selective, and you allowed me to do it. I
Very passive this tour with who I wanted to do interviews with and how much press. I
and you
wanted to
gave
do,
me
but
that
much love to
opportunity.
Pup Fresh
And all I
always.
want to do is thank you for that
Yeah, of
on the
course,
air. And I
man.
want my viewers to see
here.
that maybe I'm an entity that maybe somebody will take notice and say, maybe I should be on the Pup Fresh podcast.
There you go.
You definitely want to do a Pup Fresh interview.
There you go.
Having a great time.
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. As much as I have in this last, how long has this been? We've been talking for like
It's gotta
40
be
minutes.
like 20 minutes.
Over 40 minutes.
Yeah, I've only 40 minutes.
I
My
think-
sister is texting me. Where are you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine,
We're in
it's
Ryan's hometown right now.
We are.
You hang out at Zach of Plymouth all the time, don't you?
I hate Zach's of Plymouth.
Oh,
if
you
you're
do?
listening to this, Zach's of Plymouth is one of the worst places ever.
Holy
Don't go
shit.
there. Horrible service, horrible food. If you go there, it's because you have nowhere else to go. You're a loser. Just kidding. But seriously, I hate Zach's.
I went there once. Tyler Common dragged me along. Him and I used to hang out.
Exactly.
It was terrible. I didn't like it.
Tyler Common, if you're listening to this, every time you've ever asked me to go to Zach's and I said no, this is why.
We're getting too inside jokey right now. I don't think the viewers want to.
Zach's of Plymouth, just don't go.
Pup Fresh, go.
Pup Fresh, go to it.
There you
Pup
go.
Fresh.
Is there
Great
any
service.
Is there anything that you guys would like to add to this podcast?
I mean, thanks for if you made it all the way through this interview, that's what's up.
I think we talked about interesting things. I'm actually very proud of how this has been turning out.
Great.
But I will say, if you did make it all the way through this and you are now listening to the end,
Thank you for the ad money to pupfresh.com because I'm definitely banking on this.
oh, of course,
anyway,
of course,
keep going with
We
yours.
got a new record coming out.
we have a new record coming.
What's it
out.
called?
We can't say
Yes, you can. Why not?
We literally just decided the other day.
What is it? What did you decide on? And it could change. It could change.
It's called Pup Fresh Forever.
Pup Fresh Forever by State Champs, coming to a record store near you.
Yes.
We're gonna come through with that soon. I wish I could say it right now and be like
Oh,
exclusive
you can,
to Pup Fresh
but it's
and
okay.
say that.
It's okay.
But
No, I understand why
I
you
hope
can't.
that everyone likes it. It's done. It's officially done.
Don't say
We
you
got all
hope.
the
You know
mixes
that
back.
everybody's going to love it. Let's hear the
I
confidence.
hope that everyone gets behind where we're going.
I'm getting
because,
behind it
you
for
know,
sure. And that's all that
hope
matters.
so.
Keep talking.
That's all we can hope for. It's going to come out like after the summertime. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We have a big plan as far as like this next album cycle and where we're going to be. We're going to hit everywhere, all of these major markets, U.S., Europe, Australia, Japan. We'll be all over the place, so please come see us if you happen to come through your area.
And when's the next headlining tour? Is that happening soon?
That's going to happen in the summertime. We're going to announce it in a couple days.
Oh, really? Well,
Tomorrow.
okay, who's it? Because I'm not posting this tomorrow. Who's it with?
Okay, so we can.
I swear, I think you promised you.
All right, cool. So
I'm pretty sure it's announced tomorrow.
And if it's not, we have emails and shit.
Sure.
that's fine. We're going to do a headline tour, like a short headline tour in the U.S. in July/August. We're taking out our friends in Hit the Lights, Tiny Moving Parts, Let It Happen, and Northbound. 5-band package. We're just going to do it big for like 2.5 weeks in the East Coast and the Midwest of the U.S. and build up some hype for that new album. So come out and see us if it comes through your city.
And Derek, do you realize that during our first interview, you had just got done playing 2 shows a weekend with Hit the Lights, and you were totally stoked about it.
And we were opening for
And
Hit the
4
Lights.
years later, look at what happened. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, it's
not
very
that me being proud of you means anything.
It's very cool to me. It's surreal. It really is. You know,
Uh-huh.
like, being able to bring out like a band like that, who we're also very good friends with now,
Right.
that I looked up to, and are one of the
Right.
reasons I even wanted to be in a band in the first place.
Right.
So it's very cool.
Well, hey, the web series is out now. The tour's coming up. The album, keep an eye out for.
There's a lot going on.
State Champs, taking over the world.
Doing a few
One Pup Fresh podcast at a time. Listen, I hope to have you guys on again in the future. If you blow up, please don't forget about me.
We won't forget about
About little Puppy Fresh, you know what I mean?
got you.
And Ryan, you want to plug Speak Low real quick?
No.
Please. And I'm sorry.
I leave for Japan in 2 weeks, doing a few shows there with real friends. It's acoustic stuff. Yeah, cool.
I think that no, seriously, Ryan. I think that you should be proud because
I am. I'm proud.
I was actually. I mean, Speak Low is unbelievably great. After I saw you open for Anthony Ranieri, I went up to you and I said, Ryan, that was incredible. You didn't know who I was.
I actually remember that because you were skeptical.
I didn't know what to expect because
Exactly.
you know when you go up and you see a guy cry on stage for 20 minutes, you don't know if you're gonna like it or not.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm just kidding. You were very, very good.
Thanks.
And I said to you, I said, Ryan, if you ever need anything in the future with this band, you need any press, anything, please let me know. Well, you never hit me up. You didn't need me, but
Like I said, very DIY.
there you go.
Make him come to me.
Well, listen, Speak Low, State Champs. Listen to it all. You guys are already a fan. Thank you so much for doing this podcast. I hope to have you guys on again soon.
Of course.
It's great.
Anytime I'm in.
All right, tomorrow.
Much love for the Pup
Tomorrow,
Fresh.
please, just not
All right.
Yeah, no. At least we got like a 6-month off period right now until we see Pup Fresh again.
All right, and
Just kidding. Anytime.
And can you guys give us a plug real quick?
It's been real. We're
It's-
state champs.
No, it's the plug is we're State Champs and Pup Fresh is fresher than, and then you got to insert. Go get really close to the microphone.
We're state champs, and Pup Fresh is fresher than the underwear I'm wearing right now.
That's already been
Most
done.
definitely. Okay, I gotta pee. I'm outie. Much love to Pup Fresh. This is State Champs. Later.
Thank you so much.
I should have said fresher than the.
So there you have it. There's the State Champs interview. I hope that it wasn't as annoying as advertised. And if you made it this long, I'm imagining that you had to have enjoyed it at least a little bit. So I don't know. If you did enjoy it, please tweet at PupFresh or comment or something like that and let me know because I could definitely use it for my self-esteem. State Champ's new web series, Shot Boys, is available on YouTube, and I do recommend you all watching it. And after talking with Ryan, I definitely see the Seinfeld influence. And I hope to interview State Champs again soon, specifically Ryan, so we could talk Seinfeld, because that is one of my favorite shows. Their upcoming tour with Hit the Lights, the dates you could find somewhere, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably link it in the description. And they're going on tour with Five Sauce, which you all know, and you're not dumb. I hate that. Oh, you could find this here and here and here. Listen, Google exists. You guys aren't idiots. Just fucking go find it. One thing I am linking in the description, though, is the first interview I did with Derek back in 2011. We referenced it a few times in the interview, and I don't know, for those curious to see that old interview that I did with Derek in 2011, the The link is below. Follow Pup Fresh on Twitter at Pup Fresh. Subscribe to us on iTunes, because why the hell not? And we're also on SoundCloud, as you may already know. Yeah, that's the interview. That's the podcast. I think that I'm done. Oh, another shout out to Derek from from the Big Time for that intro that he did. I don't know if I should end the podcast with the intro or not, because it's an intro, not an outro. And it seems like my outro is kind of just me cut off from talking at some point, because I never know how to really end.
It's the Pup Fresh Podcast, Pup Fresh Podcast, Pup Fresh